We are back live now. Getting ready for heat race number 1 of the DOB Pure Cornhole League and Tournaments Wingless 360 Sprint Series. Looking at the lineup right now, it is Todd LeBoub, Braden Eiler on the front row, Nathan Davis and Mark Broderick, row number 2, Stephen Hill and Jeffrey Stewart, row number 3, Chris Roberts, Dustin Griffiths, row 4, and Mason Hannigan rounding out your top 5. Going to go green this time. 10 laps the distance. Top 4 will advance to tonight's A main. LeBoub going to lead him down. Good start for the 94 Braden Eiler. Looking at a challenge here from Mason Hannigan and Nathan Davis. Mark Broderick sitting third right now. Davis pulling ahead of LeBoub, but LeBoub's battling back to the inside. 4 wide through 3 and 4 there. Davis edges ahead. Still 3 wide down the front stretch as Eiler looks to put the slide job on LeBoub. Down to the bottom of the track goes Broderick, who's working the inside. Eiler going to over-under here coming out of 3 and 4. Goodness gracious, still 3 wide there for second. Top 4 all advanced, but these guys are battling it out. Looked like there was contact in the back of the field there between Jeffrey Stewart and another car, and the caution flag will fly. Down into turn number 1, Stewart in hot. He's going to make contact with Mason Hannigan, who finds the outside retaining wall. Do believe Stewart take an end of line penalty, but if Hannigan wasn't able to continue, he's already there. Top 4 advance. You are looking at them right here. Nathan Davis, your race leader. Braden Eiler, Todd LeBoub, and Mark Broderick. Rounding out your top 4, Dustin Griffiths. Odd man out right now in the 82. So Davis coming from 3rd place on the grid, looking pretty good in that Black Diamond machine right now. We're going to go green this time by. Going to have 3 laps left in this race. Top 4 advance to the A main. Davis leading him down. Eiler second. LeBoub and Broderick behind them. Dustin Griffiths on the high side. Going to try to make his way into the A through the heats here. A lot of moisture still on the track right now, so these guys are nearly wide open, if not. You can see Broderick Eiler with a little bit of a bump to the wall there. Doesn't take him too far out of sorts, but a little bit of danger there as we wind down. White flag in the air. Davis out front. Ooh, now issues for LeBoub. That brings Griffiths to the inside, who slides Eiler as well. LeBoub gets around Eiler, and he is going to miss the show. Braden Eiler in the final corners goes from 2nd to 5th as Nathan Davis takes heat race number 1. So we are going to move here into heat race number 2. How's it going, Pre-Stone? Thanks for joining us. Kendall Tucker going to start on the pole of this heat race. Billy Rowley to his outside in the 79. James Tiernan sitting third. Cole Newhoff in fourth. Peyton Grease fifth. Nicholas McGathey in sixth. Aaron Schaefer and Jeff Westergaard going to round out your field as Mark Pinsky unable to make the call for heat race number 2. Only 3 heat races here tonight. Still only taking 4. Kendall Tucker had a fast midget here before finding some trouble. Now going to see if he can have a little better luck here in the wingless sprints. Pure Cornhole League and Tournaments. Same sponsor from the Pawkins Custom Tailgate Games, but a new branding on that company. Appreciate their support here of the DOB as we go green. Heat race number 2 underway. James Tiernan looking to take second away from Billy Rowley. Ooh, problems farther back in the field. That is Nicholas McGathey, who exits to the infield, but not before the caution flag flies. We see him here on the start. Gets down into turn number 1. Going to make contact with, is that Peyton Grease? Yes. Going to run up over the rear of Peyton Grease. Serious damage to that car. And he is done for the heat race at least. Looks like Tiernan did make that pass stick on Billy Rowley. Cole Newhoffen, the man in 4th right now. Peyton Grease is the one who has to find one more spot while still holding off Aaron Schaefer and Jeff Westergaard. Bit of wildness there under the caution. Grease letting Newhoffen know he's there. Going to be a force to be reckoned with. Not sure Newhoffen really cared. But these boys are going to get ready. Pace truck's going to pull off on the backstretch, and we're going to go green this time by. Kendall Tucker, James Tiernan, Billy Rowley. See what kind of start they get. We are green off of turn number 4. Tucker right down there on the bottom of the track. He's got Tiernan right on his back bumper. Rowley pitched it in there. That looked like Newhoffen found the fence there going into turn number 3. He has spun around. No caution as of yet. But I think it's coming, maybe. No, it's not going to happen now with him in the infield. He's going to hop out. We're going to go back here to the front, watching Kendall Tucker being chased down by James Tiernan at the moment. Tiernan, of course, the points leader in the Pure Cornhole League and Tournaments Wingless 360 Sprint Series. He took the first win at the Eldora Speedway. See a little bit of a slip there through 3 and 4. That's going to give some space there to Tucker so he can take a breath and reset. Billy Rowley starting to run down the 98 car there as well. 4th place right now belongs to Aaron Schaefer. Peyton Grease trying to find a way around. 2 laps to go. We're watching the transfer spot battle. They're only taking 4 to the feature. Schaefer has it. Grease wants it. Kendall Tucker takes the white flag. Tiernan at the high side of the track, Tucker on the bottom. Those guys still holding their positions. Grease trying to do what he can to make up some ground on Schaefer. Not going to happen this time. But actually, okay, there we reset. I was worried there for a second because it looked like they had Schaefer scored and third. But no, he comes home fourth in the final transfer spot. Peyton Grease going to have to make his way to the B main. So we are loading up the final heat race of the evening, heat race number 3. Starting to roll here. 10 laps the distance. Top 4 make it to tonight's A main. On the pole in the 5, it is Rusty Kruger. And it is outside in the 44. Swindell Speed Lab driver Blake Cannon. Cole Harvey in the 085 inside row number 2 with the 31 of Tyson Landis to his outside. Brent Hobson to the inside of Jeremy Hobson there. Are these brothers? We're going to have to look into this. Row number 3. A family affair there. And then in row number 4, it is Brad Faria and Brett Strickler rounding out your field. See what Strickler can do there from the rear of the field. Not sure if he missed qualifying or not. A lot of good drivers here in this race. Do battle for 10 laps. Top 4 go on to the A main. Everybody else has got more work to do. Here we go. Coming out of 4, Rusty Kruger's going to give him the green. Cannon looking to dive to the bottom of Kruger here off at turn 2. He's going to make that stick. Kruger trying to battle back here out of 4. Those two cars side by side down the front stretch. Kruger takes the lead back into 1. Slides up the racetrack, allowing Cannon to go back by. It's Landis right now that holds the 3rd position. 4th belonging to Cole Harvey as Brad Faria tries to make his way forward. And we have a crash at the rear of the field. That is Brett Strickler wrapped up with what is, I think, Jeremy Hobson. Those two cars trying to stay out of the way. Looks like they do before the caution flag flies. Cannon out front, Kruger second, Landis, and then Harvey. Harvey under fire from Faria. Faria to the bottom of the racetrack. Harvey rolling the middle right now. So far it's working, but that 72 is right there. You see ahead of him, Landis working on the 2nd place Kruger. We're sticking with the transfer spot battle here as the laps wind down. Here comes Faria to the inside through 3 and 4. Man, that car stuck really well. Slides up in front of Harvey. Harvey battling back here, but he's going to get a little too far sideways going into 1, giving up some time. Able to power off, so he stays close with Faria. That's 72 powering off at turn number 4. He's got the spot right now. 3 laps left in this race. Harvey holding the bottom, making it work at the moment. Oh, he's sideways in front of the 72. Little bit of contact, but Faria able to stay off of him, but that really hurt him as he lifted there. Check in with Landis, who's still working on Kruger. Blake Cannon out front with a big lead. No worries there. So the race is for 4th right now. White flag in the air. Brad Faria has a couple of corners left to make something happen here in heat race number 3, and I'm sure he's going to throw it right here. Slide job incoming. Faria to the inside. Can he hold it down the front stretch? No, does not look like that's going to be the case. Cole Harvey going to qualify for the A main out of the heat there in 4th. Blake Cannon, your winner of heat race number 3. Some good racing there. Going to see what happens here in the C main. 2 drivers going to move on from the C main to the B. Whoa, we've got some issues there already. Looks like Nicholas McGathey making some contact there with Brett Strickler. That, I do believe, still some frustrations from that heat race crash. Hopefully the tempers do not spill over here. As we said, only 2 drivers are going to advance right now. Jeffrey Stewart and Cole Newhoffen on the front row. Those are the guys in the spots that everybody wants. Brett Strickler and Stephen Hill make up row number 2. Nicholas McGathey and Jeremy Hobson row number 3. And rounding out your field, it is Tropical Storm Mason Hannigan. Thanks for joining us, Brett. Brett had a pretty good race going on UDTV earlier. A couple drivers trading slide jobs all race long. Was watching that, thoroughly enjoyed it. Jeffrey Stewart leading them down here, C main. 10 laps on tap for these drivers. Top 2 advance to the B. Newhoffen to the outside of Stewart. Looks like he's got that spot right now. Stewart going to go to the high side. Problems there for Stephen Hill, who finds his way into the fence. Mason Hannigan gets collected. Jeremy Hobson also there involved in that crash. And the caution flag will fly. Let's back it up here and see what's going to happen. You can see Hill on the high side of the track. He's going to back it into the fence. Nowhere to go for Hobson and Hannigan. That's going to be the end of the night for the Tropical Storm. Get back up here to the front of the field. Newhoffen got the race lead, saw that yellow come out, which he is, I'm sure, not very upset about. Just laps going by to where he cannot be passed. Now, you are too kind, Brett Wheeler. I think you do a good job. And I'm still learning how to do these cameras. A little bit of technical difficulty there as we went into race 2. Had to restart the stream, but we're fired back up and ready for some action here. Non-wing sprints is where I come from myself, being an Indiana boy. Basically all we have around here until the Outlaws come around. Plenty of swing sprint cars in Ohio these days, but that wasn't always the case. USAC hotbed here in Indiana, but right now we're talking about the virtual Charlotte dirt track here tonight. And we're going back to green in the C main. Cole Newhoffen bringing them down. Looking at Brett Strickler trying to find a move on second place. Jeffrey Stewart. Only 2 guys will advance to the B main. So Strickler's got to come up with something. See McGathey down there on the bottom. Trying to make his way forward in this race. But right now the race is for the transfer spot. Here comes Brett Strickler. Oh, Stewart into the fence. Gonna have to give that up. McGathey with the slide job there. I don't think that was intentional. But Stewart, with one mistake, gives away the transfer spot and loses a couple more positions as the drivers file through. So there's Brett Strickler now in second spot. We are working lap 8 of this race. Not long left now. Third place now belongs to Stephen Hill. You can see the damage on the front of that car from where he found the fence earlier. But that car's still rolling pretty good at the moment. 2 to go. Can Stephen Hill run down the 38 of Brett Strickler? Newhoffen with a big lead. Without any mistakes, he's going to transfer through. White flag in the air. Brett Strickler right now in second spot. All problems for Hill there on the backstretch. He's going to find the fence. Newhoffen off of 4 is going to take the victory, and Brett Strickler comes home in second. So we are moving on to tonight's B main. 8 cars going to find their way into the A, which is kind of funny because we are starting 8 cars in the B main. So, no real danger here of missing the show, but the main story will be, where do you start in the feature? So the guy that wins this race will start farther up than any other of these cars, which means he has fewer cars to pass in tonight's A main. We took 4 out of each heat race, of which there were 3. So right now these guys are battling for the 13th starting position, which it's a heck of a lot better to start 13th than it is to start 19th. So our starting lineup here on the pole in the 005, it is Braden Eiler. And to his outside in the 292, it's Peyton Grease. Brad Faria inside row number 2 in the 72, with Chris Roberts to his outside in the 93. Jeff Westergaard inside row number 3, with Brent Hobson to his outside. Rounding out your field in the 008, it is Cole Newhoffen and Brett Strickler in the 38. 12 laps the distance. Everybody is going to move on to the A main. But we are battling for starting positions here. Gonna see how it all turns out. We've seen plenty of aggressive driving here tonight. Braden bringing them down. Not sure if it's a full moon here at Virtual Dirt Track at Charlotte, but the drivers have been driving like it. Everybody going for it, not willing to give an inch. It's made for some great excitement. A few hurt feelings, I'm sure, but that's one of those things that we can deal with later. See Newhoffen making his way from the rear of the field. He's up to 4th there on the outside. Now he's looking to make his way around Peyton Grease. He's going to pull the slide job. Grease able to hold him down to the bottom of the track. Here comes Strickler. So Newhoffen fast right now. Faria still trying to track down Eiler. Strickler on the bottom. Newhoffen's charge kind of halted here. Of course, Newhoffen in the Wingless 360s, he was leading last week's race at Eldora when the caution come out. He had made some contact with a couple of cars, and then under caution, it was the 49 of David Heileman making contact with Newhoffen and actually giving him a meatball flag, which cost his shot at the victory there very, very late. Heileman, of course, receiving a suspension from DOB competition, which is why we haven't seen him this week. Braden Eiler out front on the high side, making it look nice and simple. Peyton Grease giving up second place to Newellhofen. A little bit of fence action there. Going to push him back. Faria was the man who was working in second place, but looks like he had an issue there. Once again, these guys just battling for starting position. Everybody's going to make the show. Faria and Peyton doing battle for fourth place right now. You see Peyton with a big slider going in there, but almost ran into the back of the 38 of Strickler. Now he's going to make that slider stick. See if Faria can battle back to the inside. White flag is out. Braden Eiler out front, looking at a victory in a 13th place starting spot here in tonight's A main. Coming off of turn 4, checkered flag flies. Braden takes it. Newellhofen in second. Third place goes to Brett Strickler. Peyton Grease coming home in fourth. Actually, no, that would be Brad Faria in fourth and Peyton Grease rounding out your top 5. And moving on to tonight's A main, where we are hitting the track right now for 2 minutes of a warm-up session. See all these drivers battling to get out there on the track and get as many laps as they can. Feeling these cars out. Looking at Kendall Tucker right now. Saw how fast he was in the heats. Good thing it's practice. Few issues there being seen. Mark Broderick, second place at the moment, working the bottom of the racetrack. He's found some moisture down there. Kendall Tucker goes to P1 here in the warm-up session. James Tiernan, points leader, right now in third. Braden Eiler out there on track, bottom of the racetrack there in that Kinzer machine. Let's ride along with him here as he turns some laps. Currently 10th in warm-up. Hear him feathering that throttle. Trying to keep that car moving forward. And that is going to do it. Mark Broderick ends the warm-up session here with the fastest time. James Tiernan in second, Kendall Tucker third. Those will be 3 guys to watch here as we load in to our 35-lap main event, the DOB Pure Cornhole League and Tournaments Wingless 360 Sprint Series. We are live on twitch.tv/elbowsuptv as well as the DOB Facebook page. Getting ready for our second race of the night. Second race of the season here for the Wingless 360s. I want to thank Pure Cornhole League and Tournaments as well as Wicked Cushion, Dirt Armada, Wicked Energy Gum, Motorsports Beat, helping make these broadcasts possible. Appreciate everybody staying up late with us in the Twitch and Facebook chats. Got a late start here with the Wingless 360s as the midget race had just absolute wildness all night long. You want to go back and watch that video. That was a war of attrition there. So let's talk about the starting lineup. On the pole in the 36 Black Diamond machine, it is Nathan Davis. And is outside in the 46, Swindell Speed Lab driver Kendall Tucker. Blake Cannon and Mark Broderick make up row number 2. James Tiernan and Rusty Kruger, row number 3. Dustin Griffiths and Billy Rowley the SETI driver, in row number 4. Tyson Landis and Ty LeBeau, row 5. Aaron Schaefer, Cole Harvey, Braden Eiler, Cole Newhoffen, Brett Strickler, Brad Feria, Peyton Grease, Chris Roberts, Jeff Westergaard, and Brent Hobson, rounding out your field. So here we go. 35 laps the distance for all the marbles here at the dirt track at Charlotte. DOB Wingless 360s about to go green. Nathan Davis bringing them down. Davis to the bottom of the track, trying to find that moisture, but it is Kendall Tucker who's going to power around the outside and then try to take that line away from him. Behind him, you can see the points leader making contact there with Broderick, who comes across the track in front of Billy Rowley and had nowhere to go. Let's back it up here. Watching Broderick on the high side. You can see him on the top of the racetrack, going to slide down. Looked like actually that was Rusty Kruger, I do believe, who made contact with that car, which turned him into Tiernan. Yeah, absolutely. Contact between the 5 and the 808 sent him into Tiernan, and Tiernan sent him into Billy Rowley. So issues there early on in this race. That's going to push the white flag lap to lap 38. Kendall Tucker, your race leader. Nathan Davis, Blake Cannon, James Tiernan, and Cole Harvey, your top 5. Newhoffen and Faria making moves. Harvey up 7 spots there. What do we have? A lap and a half of green flag action? He passed 7 cars? Harvey was a big mover in the midget race as well before he found late trouble. You can see Rusty Kruger at the rear of the field, so he took an end-of-line penalty. So taking ownership of that caution. Kendall Tucker gonna lead him down here. We're going green once more off of turn 4. Good start for Tucker. Got a big jump there on Davis. Cannon in 3rd. Tiernan, the points leader, right there. Tiernan on the high side. He's going to look to get around the 44 of Cannon there coming out of 4. He's got that position. See Newhoffen coming up through the inside as well. We seen he was moving up through the standings. Heard a little bit of contact there. Not sure if somebody made contact with the wall. Back out front, Tiernan sitting in 3rd. He's putting pressure on the 36 of Davis. Using that high line, Davis sliding up to the cushion there out of 4. Here comes Tiernan with a big slide job down into turn number 1. Oh boy, he gave Davis a little bit of room, and it's a good thing because that would have been a hefty, hefty crash. That's going to give Cannon a look. Tiernan going to duck back under coming off of turn number 4. Looks like he's going to get that spot back. We talked about these drivers being aggressive, trying to make passes, and that opens the door for the cars behind them if those passes are not successful, and that's what we saw there for Blake Cannon, getting his opening from Tiernan's pass not working out. Newhoffen now up to 5th place in this race, doing battle there with 6th place Cole Harvey. Kendall Tucker out front, making it look pretty simple right now. Davis in 2nd, now under serious pressure from the 44 of Cannon. Ooh, problems for Davis there off of 2. Cannon nearly running into the back of that Black Diamond machine. Davis able to duel the over-under there, coming out of 4. See if he can get this spot back with the slide jump. Oh my goodness, 1 and 2. Really, really close racing action here, but these drivers are giving each other room. Could have seen 2 hellacious wrecks if they didn't, but everybody working on fair play right now. Try to look a little farther back. Braden Eiler here doing battle with Tyson Landis and Cole Harvey. That's Dustin Griffiths behind Eiler there. See Landis getting around Harvey there coming out of turn 2. Still a lot of moisture there on the bottom, though. You saw Harvey power through. Griffiths finding the fence there in turn 3. He gets that thing straightened out. Hopefully doesn't have a meatball flag on that car. Billy Rally into the pits there. Not sure if that damage from that first crash took him out or what. You see Kruger there trying to make his way back forward, but the caution comes out, and as you've seen, it was our points leader bringing it out. Here comes Tiernan, who made a move for the second spot, slid up in front of Davis and found the fence. Looked like Newhoffen also made contact with Tiernan. So issues there for our points leader. That was some hefty contact with the wall. Gonna have to see if that car is injured or not. Still on the track at the moment and on the lead lap, but that's gonna push him back to 18th place in this race. Gonna bring us back to lap 41 as our white flag lap. Got a lot of good green flag racing action there. Kendall Tucker might be the only man that didn't want to see that caution come out, because he had a big lead built up. That's going to allow Blake Cannon to come back to his Nerf bar. See Cole Newhoffen, the big mover of the race, up 10 spots into 4th now. Landis, Harvey, Eiler, all right there behind him. Brad Feria also up 6 spots into the top 10. So we're going to go green this time. Going to have 20 laps left in this race. Kendall Tucker going to lead him down off of turn number 4. Blake Cannon trying to make something happen. Good start for Tucker. Davis looking to the inside of Cannon. Not going to be able to make anything stick. A little farther back here, Newhoffen, the man on the move. Now setting his sights on the 36 of Davis. Davis goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Newhoffen on top. See a little farther back. Keep an eye on that 808 of Broderick, who had early troubles there getting turned around, and he is working his way back to the front using the bottom side of the racetrack. Newhoffen now challenging Davis. Oh, real close racing there on the backstretch. Those two cars nearly making contact. Newhoffen looks to get a good run here off of 4. He's going to take third spot there on the track. It is Blake Cannon in second, who has caught Kendall Tucker for the race lead. These two drivers, teammates at the Swindell Speed Lab. Here comes Cannon. Tucker protecting the inside lane. He saw that move coming, maybe a little bit of mirror driving there, but it works for him at the moment. Kendall Tucker holding on to the race lead. Blake Cannon in second. Those two cars fighting it out. That is a good thing for Cole Newhoffen as well. Let these boys fight it out. Here comes Cannon with the slide job. Tucker unable to get turned down under him. Both of those cars go in the fence. Here comes Newhoffen making time on him. Tucker now going to throw the slider. Cannon in the fence, unable to do anything about it, but he's going to get a run now. He's going to throw a slider in one and back it, nearly into Tucker once more. They don't look like teammates out there. They're doing battle like any two armies would. Newhoffen given a gift of these two guys battling it out. He's able to run them both down. Tucker with a little bit of a slip there coming out of two. That's going to give Cannon a look at him. He's going to run right into the back of the 46. These guys unable to get it straightened out. Newhoffen losing some time there as well. He had an issue there on that lap. But we can't take our eyes off the battle for the race lead. A few mistakes there from Kendall Tucker gave Cannon a look, but unable to capitalize there. And the teammates coming together once or twice as well. We got 10 laps left in this race. Unlike the midget race, which saw its fair share of cautions as Cannon finds the wall once again, the 360 wingless sprints putting on a show with a lot of green flag action. Try to look a little farther back through the field now that it's cooled off. Newhoffen in third, Braden Eiler fourth, fighting it out with Rusty Kruger, who has made his way back to the front. That's a quick car there. He took an end-of-line penalty after the first caution, putting the slider on Eiler. Eiler hits the brakes to give him that spot. Always good to cut your fellow driver a little bit of slack. Kendall Tucker now into lap traffic. Once again, Blake Cannon running him down. Cannon now stalking that 46 car, and you can hear. Let's get in the cockpit with him. See what he's doing. Listen to that throttle control. They are right on the fence. Here he goes for the slider. Not sure if that's going to work. He's going to try to make it stick through the middle of the track. Actually, he's got that move now. Tucker fighting back on the outside. These two guys unwilling to give up, racing for the lead here with laps winding down. Lap traffic ahead. That's Griffiths and Strickler in front of him. Here comes Cannon once more with the slider. He's going to stick to the bottom. He found a lot of moisture down there, but off the corner it did not work out for him. Lap 41 is the white flag, so 3 to go here. Ooh, Tucker found the backstretch fence. Cannon hits him. Cannon spins sideways. There goes Newhoffen. And Cannon hitting the escape button to avoid any sort of further issues as the caution flag flies. We're watching Kendall Tucker here on the outside. He's going to find the outside wall, which pushes him down into his teammate Cannon, who is sitting prone sideways on the racetrack and getting back to the pits before he could cause any further problems. So we'll go back to live action. I do believe we are looking at a green-white checkered finish. How's it going, Jim? Appreciate everybody staying up late, hanging up with us here. Twitch land, Facebook land. You're going to see a heck of a finish. Third caution flag of the night here for the 360 sprints. Top 10, Kendall Tucker, Cole Newhoffen, Rusty, Kruger, Eiler, and Davis in the top 5. Newhoffen, of course, the big mover of the race. We'll see if he can close it out late. Green-white checkered finish here. Tucker. Not a great start. Newhoffen able to stay with him. On the high side, here he comes. Newhoffen going to look to get that run off at turn number 2. The 46 of Tucker protecting the inside lane. We've seen that before. It worked for him there. White flag is out. Newhoffen's got one more shot at it. He's got a good run through 1 and 2. Here comes the 11 car up the inside. He knows that Tucker's going to protect, so he goes to the high side. Can Tucker hold him off coming off of turn 4? Kendall Tucker's going to take the win. Cole Newhoffen in second, and the 5 of Rusty Kruger making his way back forward. And you could see the displeasure there. Newhoffen not happy with the defensive driving of Kendall Tucker. But it is Kendall Tucker who will take the win there. These drivers going to drive around and park on the front stretch for us here. We'll get them into Discord and talk to them. I do definitely want to have a chat with our good buddy Cole Newhoffen to see how he feels about that maneuver by Kendall Tucker. But you can't blame Kendall, because he is the one that's going to come home with the race victory here tonight. So we're going to pull everybody into the broadcast booth. First up, let's talk to the driver who took the victory in the car number 46, Kendall Tucker. Able to hold on there, had a heck of a battle there late with your teammate Blake Cannon, as well as Cole Newhoffen there, as on that final restart. Kendall, how were you able to hold those guys off?
I was just really trying to hang on there. I mean, the line was right around the top. That first green flag run, I was able to get a pretty big lead, but I knew with Blake in second, if he got a restart, he was gonna be right there. But I think he was probably a little bit faster than me, but we just kind of got together right there. I hit the wall coming off too, and it seems to be my specialty here lately, and come all the way down the track and hit him. But I hate that because I was doing everything I could to hang on. I mean, we're teammates, but I mean we both want to race hard, and we both want to win, but we'll race each other clean. But I feel like we've done that, and we was able to put on a show for what little track we had.
It definitely was a lot of fun to watch. We saw that high side working for you there. Of course, it was very thin. Don't have that big top wing on the top of that thing to hold it down. So how wild was it there on the cushion? What were you thinking when you saw Newhoffen there starting second on that green-white checkered? Because I think at the time he was up 12 spots there.
Yeah, I saw where he was coming up through there. I mean, I couldn't tell what line he was running. It's hard enough to hold these things straight, let alone look in your mirror and see what's behind you. But I knew he'd be there on the restart. I really just had to protect the top of 1, 2, and just protect the slider in 3 and 4, and that's what I done.
Well, it worked out for you tonight, Kendall. Congratulations on that win here in race number 2. You going to be hanging around here running for the full championship here in this 7-race season?
Yeah, I'll run them when I'm home, but I'm super busy with baseball during the week. We've been having a pretty wet summer so far, so I've had a lot of rainouts, so that's why I've been able to run some of these races. But when I'm able to run them, I will.
Well, congratulations, my friend. We look forward to watching you all throughout the season.
Yeah, appreciate it. And I got to thank my guys at Swindell Speed Lab, and got to thank iRacing iFlag, Jeff Brown over there. He does a great job. Got to thank Jim Amory with Supermoon Graphics, and just like I said, all the guys back at Speed Lab, they do a phenomenal job.
There you have it, your race winner, Kendall Tucker. Let's talk to second place Cole Newhoffen. Cole, you had an exciting run there up from the rear of the field. Were you did you start in the C main to make it all the way through there, or am I just forgetting?
Yeah, I started 4th in the C, won that, and then started like last in the B or something, and got.
So was that? Let me ask you here before we get to the featured. was the ability to run in the C and then the B. Did that give you a better feel of the racetrack to make those moves throughout the A main there? Because it's not normal that you see guys come all the way from the C and climb their way to second there in the feature.
Well, it seems like lately I can't survive heats to save the life of me, so I'm always in the D or C, so I'm just running the alphabet all the time. So, yeah, I think the B main helps quite a bit for you can really drive your setup. I know the warm up helps for some, but when you're in the B and you have to be consistent on it and you got the fuel load in it, it helps a lot just knowing how to run the cushion and where the ruts are and how to I think it's a big advantage going to the feature because some guys haven't been on the track since their first heat when the track was super tacky, but I was just on there for the B when it's pretty much the same track. So, yeah.
Well, your knowledge of that track sure made it exciting. You were working your way up through the field, I won't say with ease, but it definitely at an accelerated pace. Let's talk about that last restart, because if I'm not mistaken, I saw a little bit of frustration there after the checkered flag flew.
That was an accident. No.
Okay, all right. Well, it looked like you had a run there on the race leader, Tucker, down the backstretch, and he kind of protected that inside lane. Tell me what was going through your head there as you were trying to win that race.
There's multiple scenarios going through my head under yellow, and I didn't think I'd get right on his bumper in 1 and 2 as I did. I was right at his left rear with my right front, and I was gonna go for the slider in 3 and 4, but he threw a big block on it, and it was good on his part, but I wasn't expecting it, and then I got him back in 1 and 2 and was right on it again, and then I knew he was gonna block it again 3 and 4, so I just sailed around the top hoping I could get good enough run, but just came up a little bit short.
Well, that's definitely, I guess, in the end, it's a better finish than last week. We talked about the issues that were had under caution last week. So we've seen you run up front in both of the starting weeks here in DOB competition. You think you can put your flag in the ground as a guy that's going to challenge for this championship here in season 3?
I don't know. It's got to be tough since David had a oh God, run that air. He had a moment, and it is what it is. I'll try my hardest, try to get a couple wins. Maybe I can snag it, but it's good.
Well, we're going to enjoy watching you out there, Cole. Great run tonight, and congratulations on a second-place finish.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my teammates at Kinza Racing Sim Team. They're just phenomenal to work with. They know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. We all work off each other, but most of the time we're completely different setups, but they know how to tune their car to their liking, and we all just bounce off of each other our ideas. But yeah, I'd just like to thank all our sponsors, mine, Mozilla Valley Transportation, Race on Texas, Wicked Cushion, Wicked Energy Gum, Profile by Sanford, DRC Chassis, Southern Pacific Farms, and Border Tire.
Thank you, sir. We look forward to watching you going forward. Rusty Kruger, the man coming home in third place here tonight. Rusty, this was a wild one for you because you were involved in the first caution, ended up taking an end of line penalty and fighting your way all the way back up to third. Talk about that and how you were able to overcome the early disappointment there into finding yourself at the rear of the field after some contact.
Yeah, I just gotta apologize to Mark Broderick there. We kind of just locked bumpers a little bit and sent him to the infield there on lap 1. Not the way you want to start things, but sure made it exciting for the virtual fans out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I like to put on a show, and it was a good redemption. That midget race wasn't my proudest effort, to say the least, but the guys at Swindell Speed Lab Esports, they do a good job giving me the cars to sort of run up front. We're working on the finishing a little bit, and special guest David Hallman snuck in a little set for me to try out, and looks like it works well. Went 19th to 3rd, so that's pretty good.
That's some good friends to have, and Swindell Speed Lab's been running real well here recently. We saw 2 of their drivers up front battling for that win and making a little contact, but we always find you there where the excitement is, and even if you have some early troubles, you were able to survive and make your way forward there at the end of the night. Talk to us about what it is on a track like this. Of course, it's so complicated that the track slicks off so much. The top gets pretty thin, but you've got to be really aggressive to make those passes work. Tell us about the balance of being aggressive without being overly just driving over your head there.
I'm still trying to find the balance. I've found my share of the walls over here over the last few years with this software, but It's you just gotta have the right setup that doesn't roll over too hard, doesn't get tight on you. And for some reason, I just get real comfortable wheeling these non-wing cars right around the fence, and it doesn't really work in the heat races when everything's tacky. But once that thing's slick, I'm gonna be there one way or the other.
Is this? Let me ask you: do you prefer the wing cars, non-wing cars? Where do you see yourself most comfortable?
Non-wing 110%.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I'm not good at like keeping the car straight. I don't know. I kind of embarrassed myself this last Pro Series, but they just announced a non-wing series, so hopefully we can make our way in there and maybe hurt some feelings.
Yeah, coming up here. What is it? Monday night they start
I
qualifications
believe
for that, don't
that's correct.
they? So
I believe
yeah,
it's top 35 block in. So
gonna be interesting. Well, I tell you what, you keep running like that, you're definitely gonna be one of the drivers in contention. You made it fun to watch here tonight, and congratulations on a third place finish.
thank you very much, guys. Shout out to old Swindell Speed Lab Esports. They're the real pros. I'm just the amateur. Jake Swanson Shock Technologies make them virtual CSIs just perfect for me to absolutely wheel and deal out here.
Well, thank you, sir. There you have it, the top three here tonight from the DOB Wingless 360 Sprint Car Series.